Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's Edwin, the comic jabroni, coming at you. Today is the 29th of May. It is New Comic Book Day, and I am sitting in my truck outside of my local comic shop, Heroes and Fantasies. So, stay tuned and watch what I picked up on New Comic Book Day. Give you a couple reviews. Peace. Yo, YouTube, so welcome back. Like I said in that intro video, it was the 29th of May. It was New Comic Book Day. I am recording this a little bit late, so I apologize to all of you guys out there in the comic book community who watch my videos every week, New Comic Book Day pickups and reviews. I'm trying to get this out to you guys as soon as I can, but I had some things going on and I just couldn't record it earlier as I wanted to. So thank you for watching the show, and let's get into it. This week was a really big week. DC, picked up a bunch of DC, picked up a bunch of indies, and a couple Marvel books, not too much. I'm going to be running through these pickups, giving you a little bit of a review, not too much. Don't want to make it a really long episode. As always, check down in the description below because I'm going to have timestamps for when I talk about indies, when I talk about Marvel, and when I talk about DC. So let's get into it. Peace. All right, guys, first up from Aftershock Comics, we've got Killer Groove #1. This is a story about a failed musician that kind of wants to get into the assassination or hitman business. Just the first issue. It's going to be an ongoing series. It was really good. I really enjoyed the first issue. There's a little bit of action in there. There's some good dialogue. You're kind of figuring out what's going on with this guy. He kind of gets talked into maybe becoming a hitman. Really liking this. Killer Groove. I'm going to continue to pull it, every time it comes out. Next up from Antarctic Press, we got Horror Comics #1. This was a highly anticipated issue coming out. A lot of people were talking about it, especially this B cover, this teether cover. Super nice cover. But I got to tell you the truth, guys. I read it and I just wasn't that into it. I didn't like. It's like the story has been told before about a man who, kidnaps people and then kills them. But, the only twist to this is he's an ice cream man. So he grinds them up or blends them up and then turns them into ice cream. I don't know. It's kind of a played out story to me. The artwork just wasn't that great. I know there are people out there that were really enjoying reading it, and it just not really my thing. Horror comics, it says horror and you see this picture and you're like, heck yeah, it's going to be super gruesome and this and that, but it doesn't really show you anything that you haven't seen in a comic book before. So, not my thing, guys. Maybe it's for you, just not for the comic jabroni. I'm going to be dropping it. I'm not going to be picking up anymore. All right, from Dark Horse Comics, we got Stranger Things #1. This is a prequel to the Netflix show Stranger Things, and this is going to be going into the story of 11. This is the one book out of the 14 or 15 that I picked up that I just have not had the chance to read. As soon as I record this video though, I'm going to actually read it. But I've been told it's really good. I'm a fan of Stranger Things. Let me know in the comments below. Have you watched Stranger Things? What did you think about it? All right, from Image Comics, I picked up Spawn #297. Guys, I've never really been a big Spawn fan, like you've seen in my other videos, but I kept getting talked into it in Perry Comics and Captain Comics. I kept getting told, hey man, you got to be picking up Spawn. So this was a perfect jumping on point for me because these 296, 297 are a retelling of the history of Spawn. This retells from issue 75 up to 150 or so, and it just tells you it's very dialogue heavy, but I'm okay with that because it is telling me this history of Spawn that I've missed in these prior 295 issues. So if you have not been reading Spawn like myself, 296 and 297 are perfect issues to jump on. Plus, this cover is awesome from Francisco Matina. It is the Virgin variant. So happy that my comic shop had it, guys. Damn, pick up Spawn. It is very good. And the last book from Independence that I picked up, last but certainly not least, from IDW, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 94 from the ongoing series. This is City at War Part 2. Absolutely love it, guys. You know that I dig some Ninja Turtles. Can't have enough of it. This just a continuation of City at War. You're starting to understand who's on the side of the Foot Clan and the Ninja Turtles, who's on the side of Karai and the different other like mafioso gangs and bosses that are in New York City during this story. Absolutely love it. Like I said, this and Shredder in Hell, they're going to meet at some point, and Shredder is going to be brought back. So I wouldn't wait until that happens to start picking these up, because I'm thinking 97, 98, 99, we might see a cameo appearance of the resurrected Shredder, guys. So that's all I picked up from Independence. That was 5 books from 5 different publishers. Woo! I'm digging me some Independence, guys. What about you? Are you liking indies? So let's go ahead. We're going to move on into Marvel. All right, guys, let's get into Marvel. First up, we got Amazing Spider-Man number 22. This is the Battle Lines variant. If you watched Buy or Pass on Tuesday with myself, Perry Comics, and Rod the Rican, you know that I was talking about this cover because it has that cyberpunk rock star Spider-Man, which I really like. I enjoyed him and his story in that Edge of Spider-Verse and the Spider-Geddon. I really dug it. But this is the conclusion of the Hunted storyline, where Kraven has captured Spider-Man along with the other villains in the Spider-Man universe that are associated with an animal. This is the conclusion. I went into this storyline thinking it was going to be a lot more than it was, and it wasn't there for me, guys. I really thought with Kraven, you know, and the last hunt and all of that, I thought it was going to be more epic, and it was okay. It wasn't the best Spider-Man story I've ever read. I'll probably be dropping Spider-Man until there's another storyline that really piques my interest. There is a lot of action in this. You do finally see Spider-Man versus Kraven. And in the conclusion, Kraven finally tells you what his whole plan was. So I kind of dug that. I liked the last issue. I just didn't like the whole storyline as a whole, guys. Next up, we got Thanos number 2. I want to say this is a 5-issue miniseries, kind of telling you about the early relationship between Thanos and Gamora. You get a brief history lesson on the origins of the Black Order, but this issue I really thought was going to be more on the origins of the Black Order, and it really isn't. You get a lot more of why Thanos captures Gamora and what he's really looking for from her. So I'm digging the story. I really like Thanos, and I like Thanos from that first series that came out a few years ago, and I'm digging this. I'm digging the whole young Gamora and Thanos, and he's got her on a ship, and he's trying to get some information from her. Absolutely digging this Thanos, guys. You should be picking it up as well. Last book from Marvel, we have The Immortal Hulk number 18. Man, look at this beautiful Alex Ross cover. All it is just the green face of the Hulk, but it is enough, man. I absolutely love these covers from Alex Ross. He has been killing it, guys. This story, just a continuation. We know last issue he was in that complex, that facility. He was trying to get away. He was Joe Fixit. In this one, he's finally out of that facility, and he's in like an Uber, but he's no longer Joe Fixit. He's Bruce Banner, and Bruce Banner doesn't know what Joe Fixit has been doing. It's like they're two. You know, he's got multiple personalities, and when one personality has taken over the body, the others don't know what the heck is going on. So when they finally get back into the driver's seat, they're trying to figure out, what the hell have I been doing for the past however many hours or days or whatever, weeks, months, that I was not in the driver's seat. So I really like that about this. You know, Hulk and Bruce Banner have always struggled with the multiple personality disorder, and it's really coming to the forefront with this. And in this issue, Bruce Banner talks about how each entity has their own Hulk. So Bruce Banner has the Green Hulk, and then Joe Fixit has that Gray Hulk. Then there's a Devil Hulk, and you don't really know who's really in charge, who's the human form of that Devil Hulk. Absolutely love, man, Immortal Hulk has been so good, guys. I can't tell you enough about that. You need to be picking it up. Picking it up. Oh, what do you guys think of the new shirt? Got it from the Comic Core. It's a newsstand. That's it for Marvel, guys. Let's move on into DC. All right, guys, from DC, picked up the bulk of the books this week. First up on the list is a book that everybody has been crapping on. And that's going to be Heroes in Crisis number 9, written by Tom King, drawn by Clay Mann. Artwork in this is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I have to say that. Now the story, it's very in-depth story, and if you missed an issue, you haven't really been reading all the issues, or like me, it's been a month since you read the last issue, you're gonna be a little lost. I gotta go back and read all the previous issues all in a row. I'm gonna binge watch. I'm gonna binge read them all and really get back into the story and envelop myself in this story. This one, what I do like about it is it shows how they have made that house back, right? Where they send all the heroes when they've gone through like they have PTSD, and they send them to this house to kind of get them back into the groove of things. Well, this one shows all the heroes talking to the camera, and you don't know the question that's being asked, but they kind of just give a little blurb, right, on who they are. And what I really like is they've got Tim Drake, Damian Wayne, Jason Todd, and Dick Grayson, and they're each in their little square, and they're asked about the other 3 Robins. So I just like the take that they all have on each other. And Damian Wayne, of course, he's the best one. He's like, what they say about me. Like, he doesn't talk about them, he just wants to know what they said about him. I really like that. Until I binge read the whole series again, I'm gonna have to give it thumbs in the middle. There's a lot of people giving a bunch of thumbs down. I don't want to say that. Absolutely, the artwork inside is amazing. That's what I do have to say. So let's get into the next one. I'm gonna save that for last. Next up, we got Doomsday Clock. This is number 10 of the 12-part maxi miniseries. Don't know what you really want to call it. Love this cover though. As you can see, this little boy, he is reading, and this cover is done by, I do not remember. I apologize. I'll write it down at the bottom. But he is reading that All-Star Comics number 3. But as you can tell down here in the bottom, he has, Dr. Manhattan is in there. This issue is amazing, guys. I wish Doomsday Clock came out every month instead of every 4 months, it feels like. This issue really talks about how Dr. Manhattan has manipulated the DC universe. And it all starts with the Justice Society of America back in the 1930s, guys. How he can tweak something here and it changes, like the ripple effect, right? If you touch something over here, all of this gets messed up. This issue is amazing. It dives deep into Dr. Manhattan and what he has done and how he changed things from the Flashpoint, New 52, and into the Rebirth era. Absolutely love that, guys. Let's get into the next issue. That's going to be Detective Comics Annual number 2. This right here is a key issue, guys. Key. You have a first appearance of a new villain. This new villain actually has ties to an old villain, the Grim Reaper. Now, there are 2 different Grim Reapers. This one has a tie to the second Grim Reaper from that Batman Year 2 story that has absolutely beautiful Todd McFarlane covers. Don't want to tell you who the character is and how he ties with that Grim Reaper. But in this issue, Batman goes over to Europe because he sees that the Grim Reaper is back, who he thought he had killed, or he thought, was dead from that original storyline, right? Back in the 80s. And he goes to Europe to try to find out what's going on with this Grim Reaper. You do get that first appearance of that character and what they call the Reaper Prime. So a lot of action. It's a thicker book. It's a little bit bigger of a book, and I think it was a $4.99 book. So definitely worth getting, guys. At that price, pick this up. Could be a character that we'd see later on down the road. All right, next up from DC, we got Superman, Leviathan Rising, number 1. Now, this was the expensive book of the week. It was a $9.99 cover price. It is a heavier cardstock cover. You do have like 80 to 100 pages in there of all different stories. There's like 4 or 5 different stories on how Leviathan, this new, global power, has taken over and what they've done to destroy the other, government agencies around the world. You get the story with Clark Kent. The best, to me, the best one is the very beginning where Superman goes to Lois Lane and says, "Hey, there's some guys in our house that are trying to capture me, right? Or to capture Clark Kent, to abduct Clark Kent." And Lois Lane says, well, maybe we should call the cops. And he says, no, I think I'm going to go along with it. I'm going to try to get a story out of this. So that's kind of cool. He lets these guys capture him. And then Lois Lane says, well, be careful with your acting, because people know when you're acting, you know. So definitely a good story, you know, $9.99. It could be, you know, a little bit out of people's price ranges, but the stories were good in there. I absolutely can attest to that. I've read it and I'm going to read it again. I really like this Leviathan Rising, this Leviathan storyline that's going to be going on through the summer with DC. I think it's going to be a good one to pick up, guys. Definitely check out for that. So the last one, the big one, everybody was talking about it. I was super excited to get it. God, I couldn't wait. I could not wait. Batman, The Last Night on Earth. This is the A cover, the Capullo cover. You got Batman right there holding that lantern, which you think is a lantern, but it's actually the head of the Joker. Chopped off, baby. And then I had to pick up this absolutely amazing Jock cover right there. Check that out. So what can I say? It was, what is this? $5.99. Cardstock cover again. It's a thicker book. Has ties to Detective Comics 27 from the New 52. This is a story that Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo have been working on together since that New 52 run. And I gotta say, it was okay. It lost me. The very beginning, I'm very intrigued to find out that maybe all of this Batman stuff was in Bruce Wayne's mind and he's playing this trick on himself. But come to find out, it's not like that, and he's in this post-apocalyptic world where this new villain called Omega has come and destroyed all the heroes, and now all the heroes are trying to get away and they're trying to get down to Hades. I don't know. I got to read it again. Just from the initial reading, man, I didn't get it. What am I, dummy? Well, I don't understand. I'm gonna have to read it again. Let me know, guys. Did you pick this Batman Last Night on Earth? Then that is not to say that I'm not gonna pick up anymore. You know, I dig it. I love Scott Snyder's writing, and I absolutely love Greg Capullo's art on Batman. But I'm gonna have to read it again to truly understand what's going on. There's a bunch of different chapters in here, and I'm not sure how they tie in together. But I'm gonna have to check it out again. Yeah. So that's all I picked up, man. DC, Marvel, and independent books. Let me know in the comments below, what did you guys pick up? And what did I miss out on? I will tell you right now that because I was picking up so many books, there were 3 issues that I took from the wall, and I told my local comic shop to put it in my sub box. I'll pick them up next week. I know one of them was Ascender. Don't want to tell you what the other 2 are. You're just going to have to wait till next week to find out. And as always, guys, I'm Edwin the Comic Jabroni. This is my new pickups review, new pickups video for New Comic Book Day and reviews. Watch out. Tomorrow, Arcs and Minis, episode 7 is coming out. We're going to be reviewing Old Man Logan, past live story arc. And that's about it, guys. If you're new to my channel, think about hitting that subscribe button. I'm dropping content all the time, comic book related, and actually coming out in June. I'm going to have some retro video game related, and some toy related videos. So that might be up your alley. Hit that bell notification so that you know when my content is dropping. Hit that like, write me a comment, guys. What'd you think? What'd you pick up? So until next time, peace.